Welcome to the Landis Performance Channel. In April of 2025, my wife and I went to Darlington Raceway for their NASCAR race weekend, celebrating 75 years of racing at the track. They called it the Throwback Weekend. Competitors had throwback paint schemes of older race cars from different eras of NASCAR racing. In keeping with the Throwback Weekend, the racetrack contacted the Stock Car Classics Club to display their vintage race cars and enjoy some laps on the track. Stock Car Classics' mission is to keep history on the racetrack, a rolling museum that runs and drives. Most of these cars were actually raced at some point in their life. On Saturday, the Xfinity race day, and Sunday, the Cup Series race day, the Stock Car Classics displayed 23 vintage stock cars in the Darlington Raceway fan zone. Here, race fans were able to see up close racing history, reminiscing races that they watched, see some of their favorite drivers' cars, talk to the current car owners, take pictures of them and with them. Some even got to sit in the cars. Then Saturday, after the conclusion of the NASCAR Xfinity race, the Stock Car Classics divided up into two run groups. The first group was the older cars, and the second group was race cars and truck of the modern era. We moved from the fan zone to the track infield during the Xfinity race. Once the Xfinity race was finished and the winner's circle was completed, Group 1 entered the racetrack for almost 20 minutes of track time. Then Group 2 got their chance at the track Too Tough to Tame. Since this was only the second time I had a chance to run my car on a track, I was the last car in my group. So here is some in-car footage of my awesome opportunity driving on Darlington Raceway. Enjoy. Darlington Racetrack, getting to make some laps. So right now the pace car is trying to get us all grouped up so we're ready to start turning some laps at speed. No, the 19's having problems with a coil wire and having trouble getting up to speed. So the pace car is restacking us again, getting ready to make some laps. Now we're getting up to speed, and now it looks like it's my turn. It looks like my transmission will not come out of second gear, so I got to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I decide, since it's maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, to go ahead and ride around against the rev limiter. So with the gearing I have in the car now, it's still over 90 miles an hour and still got a chance to do something that not many people get a chance to do. I built a tough engine. It looks like it's getting pretty hot, so I decided it's time to get off the track and let everybody else have their fun. Maybe better luck next time. What's that?
Y'all good?
Yeah, the shifter was stuck in second, so I was riding a rev limiter and then it started overheating.
Oh shit.
It's the second time this shifter's done that. Brand new shifter too. Oh well, at least I got some laps in. So it took a lap or two to figure out where the backstretch pit lane was. I got off and was able to stay off the track and not hinder anybody else's lap fun. So I think the transmission is actually the culprit, not the shifter. We'll see in a future episode. So stay tuned and I'll show you the rest of the cars that were in our group at Darlington Raceway. Throwback weekend.